I was going to say. M's clearly in a bar.
Garçon.
No, I came prepared.
I can't hear anybody on the Twitch stream.
I mean, if you could
Actually.
just bring the barman
I don't know
back,
what the delay
I'll
is,
have
but-
a double.
To be
Oh,
fair,
is
it's
Jamie
probably
bringing
be-
drinks?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
probably
better.
best you can't hear anyone than just us, because that would be really weird.
Well, I was going to say
Yeah.
your audio is coming through.
Is it?
No
Hang
one
on.
wants to hear just me.
Chat,
Oh,
can we? Are we good?
Oh,
We're
you'll-
good.
you'll-
We're
We're
good.
good.
very-
There we go.
You're
Awesome.
very quiet on it.
I'll just crank that up a little bit. There we are. Okay. There we are. Fantastic. Right. Just to recap for the stream that missed the entirety of that. Good evening, Dice Roll fans, and welcome back to Self-Diceolation, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign set in the world of Eberron. My name is Tom, and I will be your Dungeon Master for this evening. Joining me tonight are some of our regular group of adventurers, whom you have already heard from, despite my complete silence. Last time you headed for the meeting point of the Gathering Stone. On the road, you encountered some guards employed by House Deneath who informed you that your planned shortcut had been closed due to attacks from a malicious hag living in the bordering swamp. Assuring the guards you could handle yourself and spurred on by Mick's discovery of a 1,000 gold reward for the hag, you pressed on. Shortly afterwards, you were attacked by some hideously malformed feral hobgoblins. As you defended your prized carriage, the Smash and Grab, a mysterious figure stepped forward to aid you. The monsters defeated, your ally revealed themselves as a wood elf druid named Adriel, who had created the story of the Hag of Torlac Moor to keep travellers away from the real threat lurking in the swamp, a huge multi-headed hydra intent on taking a bite out of each of you. As you wore the creature down, it failed to notice Daisy's rhythmically war chanting her battle axe up through its chest, freeing both the recently swallowed Adriel and a large dragon shard crystal embedded in the beast. We pick up a day or so after your battle with the Hydra. Adriel, taken back to her hut and rested up, has presented you with a sending stone to explain the hag situation in the hopes you can use it, along with the severed head of the Hydra, to claim your reward from House Deneath. It is early evening when you arrive at the Gathering Stone. This place takes its name from the huge slab of shale around which a settlement of tents, hovels and fires form a permanent campsite. On the far side of this ramshackle marketplace stands a small stone fortress, flying the banners of House Deneath. Folks, over to you. What would you like to do?
A quick question.
Yes.
Am I feeling like a tool sore in any region at all to like perhaps show that I may have some fun with Adriel?
More roll of dice.
Oh my.
You got bitched at from here to next week.
Yeah, my cheek feels awful.
I'm gonna say that
Take 3 damage.
your general sense of fatigue and exhaustion has come from fighting a hydra more so than wrestling with anything else. Even for Notad's notoriously unscrupulous romantic tendencies, I'd say he would at least have the decency not to take advantage of a semi-conscious, wounded druid.
Consensual, but
Yeah. There was it wasn't the right time for you guys.
we got that cleared up.
I mean, it's been playing on my mind all week.
Anyway, anyone else?
I'd completely forgot about it, but yeah. Other than the fact that I was still holding that giant dragon crystal thing.
You are still in possession of the
God.
dragon shard.
I completely forgot about that thing. That's that like radioactive type thing, isn't it?
Yes, so it is
Oh,
a
shit.
very
Well, I'm gonna
magically
put it in-
powerful artifact.
Were we going to put it in Mike yours chest cavity?
I think we
Yeah.
were.
Because he's expendable.
No,
I mean,
no.
what?
You were, but I
Oh,
was
he
still
wouldn't
holding
let
it and
us.
wanted to know why you wanted it.
Because
Oh,
you'll
yes,
probably
yeah, that's right.
die from holding it. That's why.
Do we know what
I
a
think
dragon
you just
shard
need-
is?
Only through sort of hearsay. None of you have ever actually encountered one, but you're aware of their existence.
Do you want me to? Would I know as a wizard, or
You would be, again, you would have an awareness of them. They are the sort of ancient relics from the age of antiquity within Eberron. They are these very powerful elemental sources of arcane energy. Generally, any that are currently in circulation are kept under very strict control. They are the equivalent of like a magical nuclear power source. Even the smallest ones have a significant potency to them. The docent currently installed in Mykior's eye is studded with tiny faceted dragon shards.
Oh, right. So that thing might know. I'm sorry, I can't remember what you called it.
The docent.
No, his name.
Oh, Wavebreaker.
Wavebreaker. There we go.
Wavy.
Wavy might know something.
You can certainly try. The communication with Wavebreaker is essentially ferried through Mykior. Wavebreaker doesn't have a voice of its own outside of Mykior's head.
Okay. But he's presumably relayed this to us. I'm just wondering which one of us knows. That was all.
Like I say, you would all be aware of it in the same way that anyone of a general scientific awareness is aware of nuclear power in our world.
Okay.
It's
Michael,
that
can
level.
You ask Wavy if this thing is gonna like kill Mick by holding it, seeing as he's a fleshy.
Thank you for using his proper name. I'm gonna get back to it. Oh wait. I got it. Okay. Hey, why do I need this? I say in my mind.
I don't think you do. Like,
So,
if you were to ingest that, it would kill you.
but what if I just put it in the hole in my chest?
It would kill you. Were you
Maybe
built
with that
stupid, or is this
attitude.
something that's happened over time?
Look, this fleshy feeling thing in my head has got me all kinds of screwy. Okay.
Just, like, don't go ramming strange ancient power sources into your chest cavity just because it fits.
No.
How are we
that
getting on, Michael?
has-
How are we getting on? Do we know? if it's
but
safe to live?
it's a bit of a work in progress. Shush. So, what are we gonna do? Why is this dragon shard so important?
I mean, the Colossus I was part of was powered by one of them. Probably a little bit
Okay,
bigger
you know
than
that's
that.
miles away, don't you?
Yes, I'm well aware of it
Not
being significantly far away. Also, you decided to throw in an infernal power source and completely bugger up my inner workings, so it's going to be at least a couple more months before
wasn't
it's
really
repaired.
my decision.
Well, mine
You're
neither,
taking
but
feel you're taking it out on me a little bit too much there.
needs must as devils drive.
Speaking of infernal power sources. So,
So is Mick gonna live?
it's kind of dangerous for fleshies to touch it. Apparently, it can blow people up.
So would it be best living in your chest cavity?
No, that would definitely blow me up.
Right. Put it in a plastic bag then?
What's plastic?
I don't know.
Stick in a Tupperware. Be fine.
What's Tupperware?
It's clothes worn by a guy called Tupper,
Who's he?
friend of mine.
Inspiration for that.
Me and Kallus knew him at uni.
What's uni?
Never mind.
Fleshy thing?
Yeah, flashy thing.
Okay.
Sure. What is happening here?
So, gathering stone.
Gathering stuff.
Yeah. So you can see that there are.
Dragon shard later.
So there's various sort of merchant sites set up. There's a mixture of different races here, predominantly goblin and goblin ilk. So there's various hobgoblins and bugbears moving around. The sort of more, let's say, non-goblin races tending to give them a bit of a wide berth. There's no obvious animosity going on, but you can see where various folks are sort of keeping to themselves, moving back and forth. Every so often there'll be a guard walking through in full House Beneath uniform.
So we needed to find someone from House Beneath, right, and give them tell them we did their quest. Is there anybody with like a spinning symbol above their head that's glowing? Because that's usually who you have to go to say that you've completed your quest, right?
Usually, yes. None of the guardsmen you can see happen to have any sort of spinning affectations above their head.
I'd like to have one.
There is, if you're looking for any kind of like head of operations, there is very obviously the fortress. It's been set up. It's referred to as a fortress. It is a large stone barracks, more so than anything. It's clearly a defensible position, but the main thing that marks it out is even with the sun going down, you can still see that there are banners for House Beneath hanging from the walls.
All right. Should we head with there?
Let's. Are we skipping again, or I'm kind of tired?
Yeah, I think we did the skipping thing.
Arguing with Wavy is very exhausting. Okay, no skipping.
Okay. So Claude manages to find somewhere to park up the smash and grab, and you make your way towards the fortress. It seems to be fairly open. Security's not overtly lax. You can see various peoples coming in and out, both guards and commoners, mercenaries, making their way back and forth. And as you head inside, you can see there is a fairly ornate sign pointing towards the pointing out the various amenities. There's like a mess hall on one side, offices to another. A lot of the traffic seems to be heading towards and from the captain of the guard's office.
I think that's where all the action's going, guys.
Yep.
Who's got the head? Who's got the head?
No, I don't think any one of you is carrying the head at the moment because it is significantly large. It would still be strapped to the top of the smash and grab.
Oh, okay, cool. That's fine.
I was going to
What's
say
the other
something
thing
like
the lady-
outside of it.
What was the other thing the lady gave us to show him?
So she gave you a sending stone, which is about a small stone, fits into the palm of your hand, and Adriel has basically recorded a message onto
right.
it.
So who's got that?
I would say, who would have that?
She probably gave it to me.
I would, yeah, I'd say Notad would probably be carrying that one.
Just
So-
to keep his hands occupied.
Yes, yeah.
Cannon.
We'll just
Hey, take
so-
this so you don't have to touch me.
Take
would-
this fidget stone.
Something like that, yeah.
I take it we take
Here, play with this.
the stone in, and we've also got proof with the Hydra head if they want to come and look at it.
That's fine, yes. Yeah. So as you make your way into the offices, you wait a couple of minutes, and then you're shown into a room. There is a human male, probably late 40s, early 50s. Wavy golden hair with a few flecks of white going through that. Very piercing green eyes. Just look up and go, yes, can I help you?
You were wrong.
About what?
About the hag, you were very wrong. Silly fleshy.
Oh,
Really
and
need
they
to
just
get you better at your greeting.
they flick through their notes and they say, "Is this the hag that has been attacking the road near Torlak Moor?"
Yes.
Yeah, the hag.
Okay, you seem to be in possession of some information that I'm not aware of. Would you care to explain?
Yeah, it's not a hag.
Oh,
Yeah, she's a very nice lady. She skips.
Okay. Have you spoken with a cleric recently? Are you under any kind of illusion or suggestion?
No,
Ignore my friend
we
here.
had a talk with her. We had a talk with her.
You had a talk
who's
with the
got
hag.
Give him the stone.
So, what my friend is trying to explain and failing miserably at is that the hag was a ruse. It was a made up story by a good friend of ours, pretty much my girlfriend now. And she was doing that to stop
shit.
people coming down that road because there was actually a worse thing down there, which was a hydra.
I see, and you'll forgive me, but I trust you have proof of this.
Yes, the Hydra is no more. The Hydra's head is on our limo, and I have a stone. Have stone, please.
Yes, give him the stone.
I gave him the stone.
That's what I was trying to explain.
Do better.
Terribly.
Okay.
Just do better. Oh, get good.
Okay, good.
Calla-
Thank you.
I give Kallus a bit of a look.
So as you hand over the stone, as soon as the officer picks it up, you hear Adriel's voice emerging from it, going, "Oh, hi! So here's the explanation. I am not a hag. I am a druid. I took up residence in the swamp because there was a hydra. My friends here, they've got the head of the hydra as proof. I've managed to clear the roads for you now, so everything should be back to normal. You have a good day, and make sure you give them their reward because they did a lot of good work."
Bye, Adriel.
There's no response.
Didn't record.
She sends a love. Yeah. So you want to come see a head?
Certainly, this
I
certainly
found super
explains
creepy coming from you.
certainly explains a lot.
I have already swallowed 3 head jokes this evening.
Poor choice of
joke in
words.
itself is a joke.
Didn't even mean to say.
Oh dear.
I bet
I am not
I bet that was.
touching this.
I bet
I am
that was
not
an
touching this.
absolute mouthful.
Okay,
No wonder you're getting brought drinks all the
so
time.
the captain follows you outside, and you can see that Claude is now sort of hauling down the head of this hydra from the top of the carrot. Are you guys all right? Do you need a moment?
No
I
Ted,
think that
the
last-
solution is
I think-
electrolytes.
I think that last joke really shafted him.
Oh, oh God.
Just gonna mute myself and move on.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah,
Thank you kindly. I'm just gonna let these guys die on mute for a while. This could take a few minutes. So, whilst you are recovering, yep, that's it. Calm emotions. Calm faces, deep breaths. So, Claude pulls down the head of the Hydra and just sort of unceremoniously dumps it in front of this guard captain. And as it does, the jaw sort of drops open and the tongue just lolls out onto the floor. The guard captain goes, "Well, this definitely explains a lot and certainly seems to be in order. I can see that this sending stone carries a verified Druidic Circle mark, so yes, I trust you're here to claim the reward."
Yes.
Very good. And just literally reaches into his pocket and hands over a pouch full of coins.
How many coins?
The poster advertised the reward at 100 platinum dragons, which is equivalent to 1,000 gold.
I'm rich again.
I was going to say you needed that.
I really
So, who is receiving the pouch? Who's
Me.
cupping the
No,
sack?
you're
Ah.
not. Get away.
You're
Yeah,
busy
I
holding the
can't.
shard.
Who's
Out the way.
grabbing the bag?
Me.
I put it in my chest cavity.
I put myself forward as the only one who hasn't murder hoboed or threatened to kill
No,
a
this
party
isn't a
member and steal
democracy
all
in
their
this
stuff.
one. This
I'm
is
gonna
the who
stand
gets
here and
there
watch this.
first job.
Oh, okay. In which case,
Go.
I'd like to put myself forward as being bigger than you and having a big axe. How's that?
I'm going to go, while they're all
not
arguing,
gonna-
I'm just going to take
No,
it.
we're not arguing. I know that's what I'm doing.
All right, everyone
Right.
just make me a
Sleight of hand.
straight initiative check.
Oh, initiative.
What
Oh,
about
fucking hell.
if I
can I
slap whoever's closest to it with my axe?
I mean, you can certainly try, but you're going to have to roll initiative first.
I like it. I like that initiative.
Mr. DM, sir.
Yes,
Um,
yes, Mr. Notad, sir.
My dice got wedged on the corner, so it was like half the way between two numbers.
That's cocked. Reroll.
Thank you. So it was either a 2 or a nat 20. Okay.
Okay,
Wonderful.
so Mick,
16.
16, Kallus.
I am just watching. I'm not interested
Okay,
in trying
that's
to take it.
You
I'm
fine.
just gonna watch at the back with glee.
You
That's
rolled a
fine.
1.
Notad.
I probably
I got 7.
Oh, that would have been good.
Okay, Daisy.
I'd just like to start by saying that this whole idea of initiative may be misconstrued and maybe something different, like my
You got a
ability
5.
to maybe.
Okay, so you didn't beat Mick then, and then finally Micah,
19.
19.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Despite Mick's
straight in.
Mick's preternatural speed at swiping coins, Micah has already graciously accepted the reward and stowed it in their chest cavity.
All they hear is a creak and a snap.
So, Micah, you are now currently in possession of a bag of 100 platinum dragons in your chest cavity. Okay. So,
Some robot doesn't even know what money is.
He doesn't even know what day it is.
as this is going on, you can see that Claude is sort of beckoning you from inside of the carriage. Just leaning out the door going, motioning you to come over. And you can see that there are a familiar sequence of rainbow lights emerging from the carriage.
Is it party time?
It could well be.
Mike, you speak. Claude.
Just make you now get a disadvantage on stealth rolls as he'd be jingling.
It's possible.
I mean, he's pretty unstealthy anyway.
It's possible.
He's like a 7-foot robot. I mean
Just
it,
to
you're not a robot.
illuminate something someone in the chat said, it's like a walking pachinko machine.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that's not unfair. So yeah, Claude is now hurriedly just sort of walking over with the intent of grabbing one of you and just dragging you into the carriage.
Who's the lucky candidate? I reckon Kallus.
I would
Kallus was hanging back from the furor.
He was stood at the back.
Yeah, that's.
I
is
would
true,
say
actually,
yes. Yeah, he's
yeah.
grabbed Kallus by the shirt sleeve and is just
They're
dragging
all
you,
arguing over the money. Kallus is at the back.
dragging you
Kallus?
towards the carriage.
Claude.
Yes. So Kallus,
Okay,
as you are
easy. Well,
as you are foisted into the carriage, you can see that the disco ball has rearranged itself into its flat, plain shape, and Dion is staring out at you wearing what appears to be a bathrobe. It's like, Kallus, where are the rest of them?
they're currently fighting over a bag of coins. Continue, I'll pass.
Oh, classic you
Will you
guys.
please raise the screen up a little bit?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this too much chest for you?
That was good. I like that.
At this time of the day, yes. Yes, it is. Thank you.
Well, you shouldn't be so much of a prude. And he continues to just leave the mirror exactly where it is.
Touche.
If anything, opening up the robe just a little bit more.
Stepping back slightly further.
A little bit more. Just sort of stretching and flexing a little bit. Now,
One-footed swing in the breeze.
A bit of jingle jangle around the wangle tangle.
beautiful. They continue. So I see that you've been somewhat waylaid on reaching the Gathering Stone. I hear from my contacts that your original transport has left without you.
Yes.
Don't we have our own transport?
Well, the whole reason that I arranged to have you meet up with one of the merchant caravans is the next leg of your journey is going to take you through the Mournland.
Let me guess. Death,
I know what that is.
treacherous roads,
DM
and
question. Do
boredom.
you actually know what he's talking about?
Kallus, make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Ah, shit.
Is it only Kallus in there, by the way?
It's only Kallus. We're busy fighting.
That is a 21.
Okay.
Ah,
As soon as
take
you hear the
that.
word Mournland, your body immediately becomes racked with panic and anxiety, and you manage to sort of settle yourself down. You are aware that the Mournland is a region of Corvair that was essentially magically irradiated following the last war. This entire region is is just thick with this dense, magically charged fog. All maps created prior to the event that caused this are completely useless. Very few people are able to navigate through it. Most of the journeys taken that have to traverse the Mournland are usually by airship or some sort of elemental powered transport that is able to go above the fog clouds to get through. You know full well that on the other side everything is absolutely fine. Communication across the Mournland has been uninterrupted for a good period of time. The Boromar clan originally came from the Talenta Plains, which is beyond the Mournland. But still, the knowledge that you're going to have to travel through this region is enough to give you a severe case of the willies.
Okay. Do you have any suggestions of an alternative path? Because
Well, it just so happens that I've managed to pull a few strings, and you'll be travelling not so much in style, but as let's call this a working voyage aboard the Mist Cutter, under the command of Chief Operating Admiral Harbeck Mithrilbeard.
Is this an airship again?
Yeah, I asked that.
Oh,
The-
it's an airship
What is
episode.
this?
Oh, it's one of the finest ether-powered airships
There it is.
Airship episode.
that we could afford.
To be fair, I did enjoy the last one. That was in this campaign, right?
It was in the last
That was in the
campaign.
last one.
Was
It was
it
the
the last
alien
one?
one, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
with the roasted soup.
Oh God!
Ah,
The
Come
roasted soup.
on.
fond memories of the roasted soup.
Oh
So,
my!
We're-
Type of
Sorry, yeah,
one.
Anyway,
One's in the chat.
okay. So
Badrak using his immense
how do we
knowledge
reach
to fix the
this?
engine of I can move heavy thing. No.
I was gonna say, am I getting this right? Are we being transported in this man's most reasonably priced airship?
That's the general gist of this, yes.
I feel like working holiday means we're going to be patching the air balloon as we're going over.
Yeah, I'm getting the distinct impression that he expects us to like just blow really hard to inflate the balloon.
I've got fire spells.
Now,
Maybe it's a hot air
what
balloon.
exactly are we expected of us on this journey?
Well,
Before we
as I say, I had to pull a few strings, and it turns out that the Admiral is short 5 members of crew and requires some additional help for the voyage back across the Mournland before they can pick up new staff members, shall we say.
Can you
And
spell that
what
out?
happened to the old crew
That's
members?
a good question.
Ah, yes, the old crew. Those poor sons of bitches.
I don't
That's
know.
not important right now. What is important is that you report to the Admiral as quickly as you can.
One
I-
day we should
I
absolutely
feel-
refuse to do what Dion says
I
and
was-
just do what Tom does.
I was just
It's not
about
going to
to
be
say
today,
that.
but one day.
One
I'm
day
up
we
for an
will
airship.
stop.
One day we'll do it.
One day he'll come up with
Fine.
his cryptic bollocks, and we'll just go,
We're just gonna-
nah.
We're just gonna sit in the tavern for the entire session.
What crew is he missing exactly?
I didn't pay too much mind as time was of the essence and I needed to secure your transport as quickly as possible. Turns out the mist
Fine,
cutter
it's
is...
It's better than going through the Mournlands.
Oh, yes.
Where do we need to go?
As far as I'm aware, the Admiral's vessel should have moored up at the Gathering Stone this evening.
Fancy that.
What timing?
As you look, you just sort of stick your head back outside the carriage, and you're surprised you didn't notice.
Outside.
You're surprised you didn't notice it before. There is what appears to be a tall ship just sitting on a patch of open ground, sails fully unfurled.
I think I need some sleep.
Well, I'm
Really
sure
feel
that
it.
the Admiral will provide you with adequate quarters, but as I say, time is of the essence, and your beautiful carriage, the Smash and Grab, will need to be loaded on board the Mist Cutter.
Very well.
Oh, cool! It's coming with us. Grand.
Oh, yes. I mean, I could only get you across the Mournland. You'll still need to go the rest of the way in your beautiful, beautiful carriage.
Lord, get ready to take us to the airship.
You see just two
If he's
sturdy...
anywhere nearby. I
Clods,
think he is.
It's always there.
Clod's always ready to go. You just hear two thumps on the driver's window panel and just...
Mike, Mick, Daisy, get in. We're going shopping. We're going on holiday.
And I hobble in. I say, and I open my chest cavity, and I get the bag out, and I'm like, so there's only one, so we're gonna have to share. And I start dishing out all the money, and I dish it out equally.
1, 2.
One for me, one
Yeah,
for you.
one
for me,
coin at
one
a
for
time.
you.
One coin at a time, but I do it.
Okay. Just
it?
make me a sleight of hand check on that, just to
Oh,
see sort
God.
of just generally how dexterous you are and how long this takes.
Bobs it, throws the entire bag at someone.
That one.
Is
It's a nat
Please
one.
spin it. Would you-
It's-
Very
It's a nat one.
We're gonna lose so many coins.
is your manservant gonna get any as well? I probably should.
Of course he is. He has to fund my journey.
Yes, I will. I will sort out the gold distribution in
I'm
a bit.
clearly incapable of doing it myself.
Only to a certain degree. So,
I could assist.
No.
so you load back
That's
up into the Smash and Grab, and you feel the carriage start rattling around as Claude manoeuvres it over towards the parked up airship. It is literally just a tall ship with 4 mechanical struts that seem to have folded out from hatches on the bottom just to stop it tipping over on flat ground. The back of the ship itself has a large sort of drawbridge kind of opening, and inside you can see that there are various crates and bits and pieces being stashed in there. The crew that is there are, from what you can see, all dwarves, and they're all wearing this sort of leather armor with a very ornate mechanical belt and this kind of bracing going down the legs onto these gold-plated, almost like metal-strapped boots. None of them have their faces directly on show. They're all wearing goggles and these like leather flight caps over their heads.
They're wearing a face mask.
Not so much. Their face is mainly obscured by beard.
Oh, I guess that counts. No, that's fine. No, at least they're safely distanced.
So they're sort of going back and forth, just securing the supplies. And as you look out the carriage windows, you can see one of them is just sort of guiding the Smash and Grab into position. You feel the lurch as it stops moving. A couple of crewmen sort of set to the wheels and start securing it down with ropes in the hold. And from outside the carriage, you hear a voice booming down to you going, "Well, I understand understand that you are seeking passage through the Mournland. Welcome to the Mist Cutter, friends.
Thank you for having
Hi.
me.
I'm Mike.
Welcome. Welcome, all of you. I am Chief Operating Admiral Harbeck Mithrilbeard. And you see, standing on this gantry above the hold is a male dwarf of indeterminate age. At first, you assume that they're wearing very ornate chainmail, but on closer inspection, you realise that their beard is just festooned with jewellery and charms and little sort of metal affectations that have just completely turned what would be normally a very grand beard into a very elaborate display of wealth. They're wearing a deep navy sort of admiral style jackets. They've got the epaulettes and they've got medals and they've got little rank insignia. They've got a fairly tall crescent admiral's hat going on with a nice big feather sticking out the side. Again, wearing the same mechanical belt and boot arrangement as the rest of the crew. And he just looks down and goes, well, you should probably familiarise yourself with the ship and with the crew and with the equipment. We will be resting here for the night, and then we shall be leaving at first light in the morning.
Can I ask what roles you require us to be fulfilling?
Whatever is needed. The crew operates as one smooth mechanical unit.
That sounds heavy.
Me.
Yes, very much like you, my mechanical friend. And trust me,
Making friends already.
as long as you follow orders and know your place, we'll all get along famously and get us to the other side of the dreaded Mournland in nary a scratch.
Following orders. I think this
Yes,
chief is wonderful at.
orders. The backbone of a good, efficient crew is the ability to follow orders exactly to the letter. No improvisation, no original thought, just strict adherence to the exact order from your superiors.
Excuse me.
Yes, you there, crewman. What is your name?
Mike.
Crewman Mike.
Hi. We're in the mist cutter, aren't we?
Yes, this is the Mist Cutter.
Excellent. I know my place already. Da, 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 da. I just walk off.
Fine. Absolutely fine.
Wow.
So,
Sure, you're not going to get your cane out and test it.
No,
Something
that's a
very
fleshy thing.
So, just to give you a rough idea of the layout of the Mist Cutter, you have arrived in the hold, which is primarily cargo and storage. There is a deck above you, which is the living quarters and sort of galley, sleeping areas, rudimentary washing cleaning facilities. Above that, you have the main deck, which contains the captain's quarters at the rear of the ship. At the fore of the ship is the ammunition storage. Along the sides of the main deck are 3 large cannons on either side. Now, each of the cannons, you have one of the crew explain to you that should you need to use them, they require 3 people each to operate them efficiently.
Oh shit.
The mist cutter is all about efficiency
Mm.
and order.
And additionally, above the fore and aft of the ship are 2 more raised platforms. Towards the fore of the ship is a position with a 7th cannon on a rotating base. And at the rear of the ship is the helm with the wheel and various control mechanisms. So, you have the evenings to yourself. Is there anything you would like to do before you bed down for the night?
So just shake myself for any change.
Is it purely a male crew? Other than Daisy, but she doesn't count.
Make me a medicine check.
Racist.
Here we go.
Racist.
Here he goes.
And that's funny.
Nat 20.
Oh no!
It's fine. Yeah, you can identify that there are at least a few female dwarf crew, all of them with equally glorious beards to their male counterparts.
Something to hold on to, ain't it, no, Tad? We.
Now we'll see just how thirsty he is.
Okay. Anyone else for anything?
I would like to put a arcane lock on the carriage that I've been meaning to do for 2 sessions and forgot about. So
That's
nobody else can get
absolutely fine. So you've seen
in.
it
Somebody else can
before.
set a password.
Yeah, you've seen it before that Clod is able to immediately secure the carriage if needs be. Essentially, the suspension just locks the entire body of the thing down so it cannot move from the spot on its wheels. You are also aware that the doors are secured with their own version of the arcane lock.
Fine by me. I will leave that then.
Castar has informed you that it is keyed to you and you lot alone. So no one outside of the party can enter the carriage without one of you assisting
Then I
them.
retract that and go. I will just go and find whichever the chief engineer is and just talk to them about the ship
Okay.
and how it works. I'm not going to actually do it, but you know,
That's
I
fine.
will- that's what I will be doing.
Okay. Let's call this a
Charisma?
investigation or charisma check. Your choice. Because this is you, as an academic, going about the ship, inquiring as to the operations of the machinery.
That's a natural one.
Natural one. Okay.
For a total of 8 on the investigation, but still a natural one.
That's fine. A lot of the crew are very tight-lipped about exactly how it works, so you have to kind of figure it out from yourself. You can't identify any specific elemental power source or arcane or infernal, or there doesn't appear to be any internal power for this. You can see that there are engines connected through to a couple of large propellers at the rear of the ship. You can see that there is some form of energy storage within the main deck towards the front of the ship. But you are unable to discern exactly how this operates. It doesn't appear to be anything that you've encountered previously. It's not any of the sort of standard House Cannith machines or devices that you're familiar with, and that is infuriating to you.
Okay.
Mick, anything from you?
Yes, I'm going to go and
Steal
sort of
things?
go around and
Steal
say-
some beard.
no, vet and or check on the other crew members because I'm a bit suspicious of people. There might be some shady characters in this crew, like
Okay.
me, but
That's fine. We'll call this an insight check, please.
I don't even know what we use for inside. Where is that on here? Oh, right.
Wisdom? Oh, I can't even remember.
Well, we're all doing great today because that's a nat 1.
Okay.
You find the guy I was looking for.
Yeah.
I find a random chef somewhere.
So you can't tell. All of it bugs you that all of the crew are wearing essentially full face coverings, and it's a little bit disconcerting that they are all uniform, not just in what they're wearing, but in the way that they approach their duties. You assume that it's just because this is a fairly well-drilled, almost military crew that you're dealing with. They have been trained to operate as one cohesive whole. But it's unsettling, and a lot of them don't seem to really have time for you. They're very busy pootling around doing their jobs. Daisy, anything from yourself?
I think I'm going to go wandering around, seeing whether there's like gambling I can find or bare knuckle boxing, just something unnecessarily macho.
Okay, that's fine. We will call this a trying to sort of ingratiate yourself into the downtime activities of the crew. We will call this a persuasion check, please.
9.
9. The crew again. They just seem to be too busy for you. Anytime you guys do anything for fun, they just kind of scoff and carry on with their jobs. You get the impression that this is a crew that doesn't really chill out so much. There is a general vibe of everyone being, they're very dedicated to their jobs, and they seem a little bit tense. And funny, Mike, or anything from you?
I go to the front of the ship
Okay,
where that cannon was and just look out, see what's going on.
that's fine. From where you are, you can see a large forest stretch away in front of you. With the help of the docent, your vision identifies the Mournland as this sort of rising wall of fog far beyond the forest ahead of you. Behind you, you can see the Seawall Mountains, and just generally a fairly picturesque landscape. It's quite pretty in the setting sunlight.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just a nice moment, just chilling out on the bow of the ship.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm good.
with that then, you can all turn in for the evening. Take a long rest if necessary. Dawn arrives the following morning,
What's she up
and
to?
it's up to you guys where you want to bed down for the night. You've either got your own personal quarters within the smash and grab, or you can bunk with the crew.
I'll bunk with the crew.
That's fine.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Bet you will. I'll stay with the wagon.
Yep.
I'm a wagon boy.
Yep.
A wagon wheel.
Kallus and Mick.
I'll find whatever quarters we've got. Just wherever
So,
the nearest is to where I am.
seeing as you're sort of roaming around the ship, it's your pick. You can bed down with the crew, or you can bed down in the smash and grab.
I'll go with the crew. Just
Okay.
loiter.
Join me, Kallus.
Try and get a bit acquit.
That's
yeah,
fine.
all right. I'll join no doubt.
All right, and Mick.
I dreaded thing what's going to happen now.
Like
but
university
go
all
for it.
over again.
Yeah, I'm gonna bed down sort of on the smash and grab because I don't trust people straight away.
Okay, so those of you who choose to bed down in the smash and grab, because these are quarters designed specifically for you, you have a particularly restful night's sleep, and you each gain 3 temporary hit points.
Suck it.
Kallus and Notad,
I intend to.
by throwing your lot in with the crew, you have gained some of the favour of the crew. Any
I'll take it.
social interactions with them now, you will have advantage on.
Please remind me, 'cause I'll forget.
So, social interactions would be any kind of persuasion, discussion, information gathering. Any time that you are interacting with the crew, just to, be pally, just chatting with them. Anytime that you are required to make a check during one of those situations, you will have advantage on them because you have shown you are willing to be part of the crew.
Oh.
Okay. So the following morning, there is a trumpet sounding through the ship. Kallus and Notad, you would be able to see from the crew quarters through one of the portholes that it is just starting to get light outside. There's sort of bleary orange sunrise going on. Those of you in the smash and grab are awoken about 15 minutes later by Clod just banging on the door. There's a train.
Too early.
The crew are already getting to muster, and so I am going to need Notad and Kallus. You're already ahead of the game, being bunked with the crew. You're on the top deck, and I'm going to need you to both make me strength athletics checks, please, as you are tasked with unfurling the sails after they had been stowed away the night before.
Oh God, what? Oh no, thank God. That is 7.
I
thought
got
it was a natural
17.
Fantastic. Between the two of you, working with the crew, you manage to get the sails down, and as they sort of snap and catch the wind, Notad, you look up and realise there is no wind for them to catch. The sails are just billowing by themselves, and you can see these sort of... The sails themselves are a fairly thin white cloth material, thinner than you would expect for sails, but what you can see is this sort of honeycomb lattice of golden lines traced all the way across the sails that are pulsing faintly. They're sort of sparkling and catching the sunlight as it comes in. Mick and Daisy, you guys are roused from the smash and grab by a couple of dwarf crewmen who take you to the midsection of the ship where the crew quarters are located, and they point you towards a series of controls, one on either side of the deck with a porthole view outside. I'm going to need both of you guys to make a strength athletics check, please.
Oh, good. Oh, so 17.
Ooh, 16.
Fantastic. So you fairly quickly get into the rhythm of what's going on, and you can see the crew are working on this sort of rope and pulley system. And as you start to sort of hand over hand pull on the ropes, you can see from either side there are another set of sails horizontally laid out, just sort of unfolding out like basically like big bat wings from the side. Again, made of the same light white cloth material with this honeycomb sort of embellishment to it. Again, you can see where it's catching the sunlight, there is this energetic kind of sparkle going on. Finally, Mycure, I am going to need you to make me an Arcana Intelligence check, please. You are taken by one of the crewmen to the rear section of the lower deck, where you can see that there is what looks like some sort of engine arrangement connected up to the sort of main drive shafts that go through to the propellers.
Okay. Let it be known that I want no decks near my rear section.
That's
I rolled a
absolutely
12.
fine. That's fine.
Oh God.
You can see there are a couple of crewmen, and these ones tend to be they're not so much wearing the mechanical boot arrangement that you've seen on the others, but they are wearing gloves with similar sort of golden kind of filigree work over the leather.
Okay.
And as they're working, they're sort of pointing you towards another console. And as you look at it, the docent sort of swivels around, and you get that like heads-up display analysis of the console. And it's like, oh, well, I've not seen one of these in a while. And you find your hands are kind of almost moving
Automatically.
yeah, beyond your control.
Yeah.
And you immediately start punching in keys, pulling levers. And as you do, all of you hear this like low hum start to build. And then there's this pulse of energy you see travel from the tips of the sails into the body of the ship. Mycure, you see, I'd say Mycure, Daisy, and Mick. You are aware that there is this piping that runs from the sails along towards the back end of the ship, and you see this pulse of golden energy travelling along it. And finally, Mycure, in the engine room, you see these pipes suddenly flare into life as this golden light just drops into the engines, both of which immediately spin up to full speed. And as the ship comes to life, you feel the sudden sort of downward pressure of it lifting away from the ground and from the portholes and from the deck. You can see it rising above the gathering stone and making its way towards the Mournland, the wall of fog rising up in front of you. So, takes about it's the best part of 6 hours before you actually manage to get there. The airship is slow going, but you can see that it is travelling above the forest lining and clearly going to make it above the fog wall of the Mournland. Kallus, as you look around, you're still perplexed by how this thing is propelled. You can see that it is catching some sort of wind, but it's not. It's almost as if it's like it's sailing into the wind, but the sails are full and billowing in the wrong direction.
Okay.
And the Admiral is at the helm, hand on the wheel, every so often just making a small adjustment to a lever to the side and goes, "Ah! Nothing does me more good than to see my fine ship sailing in the sunlight breeze in the morning." And it's a very pleasant journey as you head towards the fog wall. As you hit the fog wall of the Mournland, the atmosphere suddenly becomes very different. The air itself feels close around you, and you can see that the crew now have started sort of adjusting the belts. And every so often you'll hear one of them wander past you, adjusting the belt, and you just hear this mechanical clunk noise, and they start moving with far more heavy footing than you'd seen before. All of you will be aware of this. This is happening sort of as the crew are able to throughout the ship. We'll go around. How's everyone feeling at the moment? We'll start with Kallus.
I'm still annoyed by the fact that I can't find the person to explain to me how this works. So I'm just spending some time. Anytime I'm not being requested to do stuff, just looking at it, seeing if I can figure stuff out.
Yeah, as the journey's going on, you are sort of being directed by the various crew to kind of menial tasks. It's just adjusting the sails, adjusting the rigging, checking the stores are safely secured. But yeah, it is still baffling to you how exactly this is operating. Mick, how are you doing?
Just keeping an eye on the crew and wondering what the hell these contraptions they're wearing that I keep seeing them adjust.
Make me let's call this let's say investigation check. See if you can try and determine exactly what's going on there.
Yeah. 19.
Okay.
What is it with your rolls? Like, come on,
know.
roll a 2 for once.
I rolled a
Come
nat
on,
1
join
earlier.
us down
He
here.
did roll on that one.
So you can see that they are they don't appear to have all done this at once. They seem to be kind of working in almost shifts, I guess, as they all kind of activate this belt, and then as soon as they do, their feet start moving much more heavily and their movement is slowed down a little bit. And as they're moving around, you can see that there is like a faint spark underneath their feet as they bring their foot down. And as you look at the floor of the ship, you can see it is every so often just crisscrossed with this like lattice work of silver metal strips in amongst the wooden planking of the floors.
I guess I haven't got a clue what it is. I'm just looking, thinking, what the hell's this shit?
Yeah, it's style and design of it is completely alien to you. You can see that there is some interaction going on between the belts and the boots and the flooring, but you've no idea
Still kind of wondering why we haven't been given them.
what the situation is.
Yeah.
Notad, what's the deal with you right now?
I feel like Notad would potentially suffer from some sort of like travel sickness.
That's
Don't think he would be that keen on flying.
yeah, that's fair. Make me a Constitution saving throw for not vomiting on an airship.
Finding a female crew member. Oh no, I seem to have come down with an
Okay.
ailment.
Oh, the vapors!
I got
I'm
a dirty
ready
20.
What was that? Sorry,
It was a dirty 20.
dirty 20. Yeah. As much as you wish you were somewhere else, you're still.
Right here.
As much as you wish you were somewhere else, like the nausea doesn't manage to completely overtake you. On that, you're still not best pleased at being this far away from the ground on a device you don't fully understand, but you're holding it together just about. Daisy.
I think I would probably be wandering around trying to prove that I'm as good as they are. So I guess like trying to help work the ship whilst I imagine getting it horrifically wrong.
Okay.
I'm just
Make me an athletics check, please.
athletics. Okay, that's not where I thought you were going to go. 21.
21.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are doubling down on that hobgoblin power.
I'm as good as any of you.
Yeah, they are well impressed. At this stage, they're kind of looking at it like this one could easily put a couple of us out of business. They're very impressed with you. So much so, one of them takes you aside and says, "Here, put this on," and hands you one of the belts with the leg bracing and bootstraps.
Sweet.
Pop it on. Turn the buckle. Quarter turn clockwise. Stops you drifting off.
Sorry, do you want me to say I've done it or?
No, they've just said, "Here you go. Pop it in. Turn it on. Enjoy." Cool.
Okay, I do that.
And finally, Mike.
So I'm getting kind of carried away here on
Yep.
this console, right? I'm flying, and I don't really know why, but I am enjoying that I'm excelling.
Yep.
And I'm just click clacking and wick whacking and yink yanking all the levers and all the keys and all the buttons. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm actually reaching over and hitting some of the dwarves' buttons as well, like in my peripheral vision. And it's the right one. I can't tell that they're getting annoyed at me, so I don't know if they are. But I'm doing it anyways.
It's your use of the technical terms that I really enjoy.
If you just make me let's call this just a straight charisma check.
Wonderful.
Just to see sort of what kind of attitude you're bringing to this this display of proficiency.
Dirty 20. Dirty 20.
Why does make me think we're on like the chitty bang bang?
It is that kind of hectic, almost like TARDIS level control panel vibe going on.
Clicky yank yank.
Yeah, a couple of the dwarves have kind of taken a step back and they just kind of let you run the engine controls solo, and they're pretty impressed. They can see that you kind of like bumped into them, but they recognise that it is in the process of doing something of benefit. So they're happy to go. Well, this makes it run far more efficiently, and a couple of them have started taking notes as well, just to make a point of what you're doing. It's at this point the docent
fingers.
The docent speaks to you. He goes, "I was fairly certain all of the ether sails were destroyed. This is brilliant. Oh, I thought I'd never see one of these again. Wonderful, wonderful bits
Okay,
of
and I
dwarven.
start talking out loud because I'm trying too hard to concentrate on like what my hands are doing, so I can't think. So I go, okay, just what's an ether sail? Tell me.
Oh, the dwarves came up with them centuries ago. I Dwarves are notoriously afraid of water. Their navy didn't do so well. But the ether sail, pinnacle of dwarven technology. These things could basically fly on magic wind alone. It was brilliant. I've never seen one actually channel energy in this way. This is fascinating. But I swore all of the solar sailors were destroyed.
Nice. I'm just like, ha, ha, ha.
Cool, and you just back to the console.
Yeah. I'm just like, okay, that's nice. So you have a rare sail. I like look to one of the people one of the dwarves next to me. I'm like, you guys have a rare sail, huh?
And just like, "Ugh, last one,
Last one.
last one that we know of.
One.
Mm.
Jeez, that must have set you back a fair bit, eh?
It's been with the admiral since. Kind of looks out to make sure no one's listening. It's been with the admiral since his entire clan was wiped out.
His entire clan, you say?
Aye, entire clan. Only reason we're here is because he pays us.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Happened with all that? Oh, sorry, yank yank. Do you know what? Happened with all of that? That clan business.
Make me a persuasion check. I'd say with
Oh.
disadvantage because you are busy, like you're
Ah.
mentally being occupied by the controls.
I'm pretty sure that's the docent, though, right?
The docent is telling you what to do, but you're trying mentally to keep up with them.
Fuck. Okay, I tried.
I have every faith in you.
Persuasion. What do I just put minus advantage?
Persuasion with disadvantage. If you're using Avro commands, it's minus dis after the command.
Minus this. Minus dos.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh,
I not won it.
Hey, join us
Join
down
us.
here.
That's the second not one. What you want about?
Join us.
At this point, the dwarf sort of feeding you the information just goes, Admiral keeps that one close to his chest. We'll need to talk about it. More on our job's worth to ask. You know what's good for you? You keep your head down and not bother him with that information either.
Okay, he says, mildly disappointed. Yank yank.
So, as you're drifting, we've got a background for the Mournland for the stream viewers to take a look at. There you go. Yeah, it's bleak as shit. So, this place, like what you can see, any chance you get to look over the side of the ship down into the land below, it is barren. Like any time that there is a brief break in the fog through what appears to be these sort of arcane thunderstorms going on below you, there are eddies and currents and twisters going on. There's just vast swathes of nothing down there. It is completely featureless.
Is this where 50 Shades of Grey was written?
There's like so little going on. Yet there's only 49 shades of grey in the entirety of the Mournland. Everything is very bland.
Here it looks to 60.
It's odd that you should bring that up, Mick.
God.
Oh no. What have you done?
Those of
We're
you
being
who have
captained by Zap Brannigan.
those of you who have taken a chance to look out the side of the vessel suddenly become aware of a change in colour of the storm below you. You can see that there is this eerie kind of green glow going on in the storm clouds below.
How does the captain feel about the element of surprise?
You can certainly ask them. The Admiral's opinion on the element of surprise is, best left to those of us who can still fight the good fight, those who would take their ships into the heart of battle. But not for us. These cannons are purely for defence. We are more concerned with the profit of trade than we are the glory of the fight.
Well, that's good to hear.
As he's saying this, green kind of squall that is building off the side of the ship has attracted the attention of some of the crewmen who have started to raise the alarm and point towards it. And you see rising out of the clouds below you is another tall ship. Not with up, the sideways batwing sails, not with propellers. This is just a straight up galleon rising out of the mist. The boarding along the side of it is tattered and broken, and every bit of it is covered in this eerie glow of just green, pale light. And you can see sort of chanting and jeering from the gunwales are just this mass of skeletons. And standing at the helm is a particularly large skeleton in plate armor, pointing a great sword over towards the Admiral. And in his absolutely crystal clear but terrifying voice, you hear them shout at the Admiral, "Harbeck Mithrilbeard, you owe us money!" And that's where we're going to take a break.
Hot dog.
So we'll be back in about 10 minutes' time to pick this up. Go take a break, refresh your drinks, and we'll see you shortly.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
And we're back with another word from our sponsors.
Yes, this episode is brought to you by Denoir's Fine Blades and Cutlery. We're better than you.
And we know it.
That's okay. That's it. Cool. Right.
That was it.
Thank you again to our sponsors. So, as it stands, you are all in view of this ghostly ship that has just emerged from the mists below, and has made a fairly aggressive declaration towards the captain of your ship. And you can see that along the deck of the ghost ship there are 3 skull-headed cannons being levelled at the side of your vessel. And I'm going to need everyone to roll for initiative, please.
Oh,
Of
Of
course.
course.
there we
I am shook.
One is shooketh
Oh, good God.
sound.
Oh, I'm not level 5 yet.
I can't remember what I have as an initiative by now, but
If only I was level 5, this score would be a lot better.
Gotcha.
I love the initiative bonus on this character.
Mine's
Does
not
love
bad, but it's not as good as I think it was Faye that had +6.
That's because you took alert.
Oh yeah, that's
Yes,
such
I
a good
did, because
skill.
she-
That is such a good
She had
skill.
nothing else going for her.
Other than the superhuman thirst for blood.
Yeah, well, I like to have thirsty characters, it would seem.
You're gonna be thirsty for one thing or another.
And it's
Next
usually
up.
some kind of liquid.
Next time she'll just be a
Oh.
barbarian drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
I've already done a drunk. I did Paella, the halfling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to figure out what the next thirst is.
It'll just be a random stupid character that likes to drink random potions. I'll try it.
The thirst for being good.
No chance.
No.
Oh, they're saying that
Okay.
Elbalar's good.
Just less shenanigans, though, for good characters.
Yeah. That is true.
I have got a new character lined up should I ever need it, though, and they are lawful good.
They Dr. Bees.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There will be no Dr. Bees.
Captain Albatross Mackerel.
That one probably will turn up in mine.
That's because the breakfast paladin.
Are we
We're filling
2
time while Tom types furiously.
seconds. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
So,
continue for later.
It's weather
Oh.
we're having.
Okay.
I've been trying to fill everything
Oh, it's
else.
barren down there.
Okay. Where are we?
Shooting
There
dice.
we go.
Hey.
Right. So, Daisy,
Yeah.
initiative, please.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot I rolled that 2 because I did really well.
Brilliant. Kallus.
21.
Nice. Michael. You muted, dude.
Mike?
Oh, Mike? 17.
Yeah.
Mick.
Probably having Mick and Mike is a bit close.
Badger.
Badger.
Yeah.
Initiative, please, dude.
I got 19.
Beautiful. And finally, Notad.
That'd be 12.
12.
So I heard Lacey say Mick and Mike, and then I didn't hear Tom say my name, so I was like, what?
But you proved Lacey's point for him there that having Mick and Mike makes things tricky sometimes.
Okay, so whilst Avery just catches all of that up for me from the looks of things. Yeah. So, Kallus, you're up first. Mick, you're on deck.
Okay, so these things, just to be 100% on this, these look like they're going to fire on us right now.
You can see on the the opposing ship there is a skeleton crew, or a crew of skeletons rather, readying the cannons. You can see that they are loading fuses. They're aiming them at the side of the vessel. and they appear to be loading each other into the cannons.
Oh.
Sorry,
Okay.
loading each other into
Oh.
the
And
cannons.
and our cannons on our ship,
Yep.
are they pointed at their ship?
They're pointed off the ship, so they're already in the rough direction
Okay.
of there.
And
There
it
would need to
takes
be.
3 people to
Three.
fire it?
Three.
It
it was
takes
three, yeah.
3 people. You can already see that there are various members of the dwarf crew readying your cannons. So you've got the 3
Okay.
along the facing side of the vessel and the one at the front on a pivot.
Okay. Are all of the cannons on our ship being manned, or can I go and help out on one, or ready myself in the hopes that maybe somebody will help me?
You can certainly help out, yes.
If I know how to use them, even.
Yeah, so during the time you've had on the ship, you have been given instruction on how to use the cannons.
Okay. I will go to whatever the nearest cannon is and either
Yep.
help people that are on it, or ready myself for somebody to help me, if that makes
Let's
sense.
wait for me, I'll come.
Okay, so quick breakdown of cannon operation. It requires a total of 3 actions to operate the cannon: loading, aiming, and firing.
Hence why you need 3 people.
I will load then, because unless it is already loaded.
Like I say, each of the cannons has already got 3 members of dwarf crew attending to it, so the cannons are being prepared. But if you wanted to, say, take control of one of the actions to choose, what's being loaded, where it's being aimed, when it's being fired, that is at your discretion. And
Okay,
you can
sure.
hold the action if you want to wait for a specific trigger.
Okay, I would like to aim at one of their cannons. So
Yep.
the ones that the enemy ship is loading stuff into, I would like to aim and well, if I can aim and fire in the same, aim at that.
Yep, that's fine. So you're aiming basically like for like with the. So you've got 3 cannons along the side of your vessel, another 3 cannons along the side of their vessel. The advantage you've got is you've got the additional cannon at the front, and the cannon that you're at is essentially the one furthest towards the back of the boat. You're aiming like for like with your sort of partner on the opposing vessel.
Yep. Basically, the intention is to try and knock out their cannon before they can fire themselves across at us.
Absolutely
Or
fine.
one of the cannons. That was the thought.
Okay, absolutely fine. So
How far away is this other ship to our ship? Like, what sort of distance are we talking?
Oh yeah, I forgot to ask that.
So the enemy ship is going to be what's that? It's going to have to. It's maybe about 100 feet away.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That's that plan out the window.
At the moment,
Okay.
it's about 100 feet away.
Cool.
Okay, so Kallus, you're aiming cannon for cannon. Anything else from yourself?
Nope.
Okay, fantastic. So, Mick, you're up. And Mike, you're on deck.
So, are any of these cannons ready to fire?
All of them are in the process of being prepared.
So none of them are ready yet then.
No, they are being readied up. You can, like I say, you can take over one of the actions, loading, aiming, or firing, and if you want to, you can hold that action for a specific trigger if you wish.
I'm aiming my one.
I'm going to first of all question the captain. What do you owe this guy?
The admiral says, "I'm honestly not too sure. We purchased some crew from them. They didn't work out. It's a very, very interesting business discussion. Maybe for another time."
By not work out, does he mean they died?
You wouldn't have access to that information just yet.
I'm just wondering if I, some sort of fine jeweled beard might. No. I will aim a second cannon.
Yep. Okay.
So are we looking to
So, Kallus, you're on the first cannon in front of the helm. Mick, you are now aiming the second cannon forward, so the sort of midship cannon on that. Anything in particular you're aiming it towards?
I wouldn't. I'm guessing I wouldn't know much about their ship, so
No, so all you can see is really your targets at the moment would be the hull of the ship, the cannons, or possibly the crew or the opposing captain.
kind of aim for. Is there any type of sort of steering or anything I can see on the deck?
Yes, yeah. So you can see that the captain is at the helm at the wheel.
I'll aim for that.
Oh god.
Okay, that's fine.
It's like the tank paintball all over again.
It is, yeah, aiming for the damn periscope.
Okay. Anything else from yourself?
No.
Okay. So, at this point, the admiral pipes up with "Fire full barrage," and all 4 of the cannons fire off. So, we start off with Kallus's cannon. You're aiming for opposing cannon.
Yep.
Okay. Let's have you run this then. Can you make me a? This is going to be a ranged weapon attack. Roll a d20 and add 6, please.
20, come on.
You rolled a 20.
Yes.
That's fine. You have aimed it like straight down the opposing cannon's barrel. If you can roll me some damage, please. A cannonball does 8d10 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, I'm doing D&D Beyond with that.
So 8d10.
8d10.
8d10 and double it.
8d10. That's lagging my screen. That's 41, so 82 total.
82. It is a beautiful shot.
Unlikely.
It is straight down the barrel, and the whole thing like banana peels out in this just explosion
Nice.
of flame, taking the crew manning that cannon with it.
I could
I'm just
imagine
going to say,
what
by the
sound.
way, chat is suggesting we launch the Admiral at them. I'm
I was
just saying.
tempted. I was tempted to cut off his beard. and
Somewhat
launch
like
that.
another pirate game.
Okay. So, enemy ship is down to 2 cannons. We now go to Mick. You're aiming at the skeleton captain. Again, if you can roll me a d20 and add 6,
Come on.
please.
Big money.
Cash rules everything around me.
So it's 21.
21. Oof.
Tidy.
Where's the menu? That hits. Yep. Roll some damage, please. 8d10.
Oh god. Definitely using computers for these sorts of rolls.
Yeah.
It's for the best.
That's 45 damage.
45. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Sorry, you say 45?
Yes.
Doesn't help. You. Yeah, so the cannonball explodes right next to the captain. They just managed to keep one hand on the wheel as just this gout of flame and shrapnel just tears through their armor. You can now see that exposed underneath the armor is just this glowing green skeleton on there, and they turn and snarl and just go, "You'll pay for that." The other 2 cannons. What's this going to be? It's 2 cannons. Bollocks! I've lost my notes.
It's me, Washbowl.
There we go. The other 2 cannons just fire broadside straight at the hull of the ship, and there is an explosion as both of them hit their mark, but no significant damage appears to have been done to the opposing vessel. In return, the
Oh god.
skeleton captain
Oh, shit.
orders a full broadside at your vessel. Two of them managed to hit for... Oh.
How many cannons they got?
So they're down to 2 cannons.
Ah, right.
Both of them managed to take decent chunks out of the side of your vessel. You see both the explosions hit, and just panel work is just blown away from the side of the mist cutter. Okay, with that done, we go to my cure. You're up. Notad, you're on deck.
How far away is the ship? How far away is this ship?
At this point, it's getting a little bit closer. I'd say at this point, it's probably about 75 feet away. You can see that it is drifting closer.
Baby, okay. Okay. I am going to, like, as I raise up, as I start channeling my magic energy, I start, like, hovering in the air, and my fingers start glowing red, and my eyes start glowing red, and they start pulsing and pulsing, and I use distant spell transmutation.
Yep.
On Mike's molten masonry.
Okay.
And I cast a big band in front of the cannons on the enemy ship. So I cast Mike's molten masonry on the cannons to do damage to them. And I also transmute my damage to make it acid damage.
Okay, no worries. So we're doing acid damage at the remaining cannons. So
the remaining cannons.
Yep, no worries. So
and I like drag my arm across as I draw the line, and it just kind of goes. Ooh.
Okay, so what do the cannons, and I'm assuming the crew on the cannons, need to do in response?
Well, hopefully burn. Oh. They need to fail a dexterity check of 14, please.
Does anyone else, just as soon as you said acid, just straight to IT crowd? What happened?
Yeah.
Acid. That's the first thing I thought.
Okay, so sorry, what was is it 14?
14. I mean, they can't be very dexterous. They're fucking rooted cannons.
Okay, so 2 of them fail. The cannons automatically fail because they're cannons.
Yes.
So what is the result of 2 failures, 2 cannon failures, and 4 successes?
Fuck. That would be 13.
So 13 damage to those that failed?
Yes.
Okay, so 4 of the skeletons are immediately immolated. The cannons are damaged, but still functional.
What does immolated mean?
It means set ablaze. Set ablaze with acid.
They now need wheelchairs.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the two cannons, the 2 remaining cannons are damaged. Currently, each one is only occupied by a single skeleton crew member. Right. Anything else from yourself?
No, I float back down to the ground. I kind of don't want to be floating on a ship, just in case it kind of sails right by me.
No, that's absolutely fine. Right. Next up, it is the skeleton crew. So, the 2 remaining skeletons are reloading the cannons, and you can see running up towards the deck are another bunch of skeletons getting ready to work on the cannons. I will say, for your benefit, the cannons will basically be disabled until the end of next turn.
Understandable.
Okay. Notad, you're up. Daisy, you're on deck.
Okay, so I have a bit of like bartering almost to do on my turn with yourself as the DM.
Okay.
I have an idea of what I want to do. Well, firstly, how close is the ship to our ship now?
At this point, the opposing vessel is about 75 feet away.
Okay, I want to use Misty Step, but that has a range of 30 feet.
Okay.
So what do I have to sell you to you allow me to that be 75 feet?
There is
Give you my
no
inspiration?
way that you could use
Um,
Misty Step that far. That's just a limitation of the spell.
I'll roll.
I
been
will
trying to
s-
get Nike to yeet me, but
I will
I could
say,
use the docent to calculate the correct trajectory needed.
I will say that you have noticed that the opposing skeleton crew were trying to load themselves into the cannon, and that has
Okay.
given you a bit of an idea.
I am of the right size and shape, I would imagine, as well.
A gnome is certainly suitable for fitting into a cannon.
And you do like ramming holes.
Well,
Sky, beat me to it. This is
exactly.
the best hole he's gonna get
Ah.
this session.
Mick, take your inspiration and get out.
Yeah, shove us in a cannon then, please.
Okay.
Bradley, can I?
Just force him in.
Okay, so yeah. Did you want to go
Team
for the? So you've got the cannon operated by Kallus, the one operated by Mick, the cannon, the final side cannon, and then the front cannon with the pivot. Do you have any preference?
Pivot.
Whichever's been most accurate so far.
I would say that is probably Kallus's
Oh.
because it has already destroyed the cannon that it was pointing
I'm
at.
gonna have to aim him now.
So the way this would work is your action would be to load yourself into the cannon.
Yep. Be fine.
Okay. So
This is
forward
gonna
cannon
go
now
swimming.
contains Notad. Anything
If you
else
all...
before the end of your
not
turn?
really, I guess. I can't really do much. But if you all kill them and end this, and I just spend the whole time in a cannon, I'm gonna be mad.
Don't worry, we'll still fire you at them. Bye,
Just fire him
Notad.
anyway. Bye, have a great time.
If it helps, I was intending to fire you.
Yay!
You're fired.
I'm currently trying to work out whether I can. Sorry, is it my go before I carry on talking?
It is now your turn. Kallus, you're on deck.
Right. Am I able to light it and somehow get in with her? Maybe she fires and I try and
Yeah.
grab her leg.
There would not
and
be enough
seize-
room for you to both fit into the cannon. I would say this much.
Okay.
I would say Notad of all of you is probably the only one who could fit into the cannon because of their size.
I'm so
As a
slim.
ome, they're small enough to
So
fit inside the
slim.
cannon. Yeah.
With a cannonball gut, maybe.
No,
Yeah.
has been working out.
All right. So because we've got a svelte
Mhm.
a svelte gnome, they've managed to bury themselves in. Okay, I'm going to.
Any holes at all?
Um,
Oh, God.
I'd like to. Is there something I can see that's like soft? As in, like, I don't want to fire her at like the hull, for instance, and she just barrels into it. So I'm trying to like fire her. Is there like is there a trajectory where she sort of comes down into the? Like,
I would say that
Yeah.
with Kallus aiming the cannon in question, Notad would have probably indicated why they were climbing into the cannon. So Kallus would probably be aware at this point that they're trying to aim to fire Notad onto the opposing ship.
okay.
Yeah, any unoccupied space on the opposing ship would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, that's basic. What I don't want it to do is like
Literally any
we
hole is
fire
a
it.
goal.
He's just. Hang on, Kallus is a he, isn't he?
We're all he's
Yes.
apart from you.
Okay. Isn't Mike non-binary?
No,
Mike-
Mike's a
Yes.
robot.
Yeah.
Mike is a
Oh,
non-binary
yeah,
robot.
So he
I'm a
definitely be
non-binary
binary.
being.
I was
just
gonna
wanted
say.
I wanted
Hey.
to make sure that I had everyone's pronouns right. And I
Happy
in
Pride
which case-
Month.
I was
in
going
which
to
Pride.
I will happy Pride Month. In which case, I'll just fire the cannon at them.
Okay.
May scream, aim, and fire.
Get out.
Okay, so the cannon's already been fired this round, so you can you can hold your action to fire it on the next turn.
shit, I forgot that. Okay, I'll hold my action to fire as soon as they become available, if that's possible, please.
Absolutely fine.
How does that
Okay.
work, if you don't mind me asking? Sorry, how does holding an action work? Does that mean that
You
Daisy will
specify.
get another action on her turn, but
Yeah.
that
So
action is for later?
yeah. So you specify. You can hold any action that you can take on your turn as an action. You can opt to hold it until a specific trigger occurs. If that trigger does not occur by the end of your next turn, then you lose the action.
Oh.
So if you were holding a spell, you would lose the spell slot if one applies. If you were like, I'm holding an attack action until this specific thing happens. If that specific thing doesn't happen, you just lose the action for the round.
Okie doke. Thank you.
Okay. So, back to the top of the round. Kallus, you're up.
Okay.
Mick, you're on deck.
I have a notepad in the cannon now, right?
Yep, the cannon is loaded. It is ready to be fired. All you need to do is aim it.
I
Aim in the wrong direction.
yeah, just aim the other way. Just aim straight down. I will try and
me poisoning you.
can I aim at like the sail? Because the sail I'm guessing is probably forward, but is there similar to us like a sideways facing sail?
So this just appears
So
to
I could
be
shoot
like
him into the canvas.
this just
kind of
appears to
thing.
be like a galleon that's just risen out of the mist. It doesn't have the sort of sideways outward sails that your vessel has,
Okay.
but it does have like a mainsail and a foresail. So there is something suitably catchy that you could aim them into.
I will try and aim for the biggest sail.
Okay.
The biggest thing that I can just try and get him to land softly into. Or netting or anything else that there might be.
Okay, so just general sort of sail and rigging kind of scenario.
Yeah.
That's
something
fine.
non-solid.
I'm willing to roll an.
Okay.
I'm willing to roll an acrobatics check to do some.
Oh,
superhero
you'd bloody
landing.
better be.
The aerodynamic you are.
So, as you are aiming the cannon, can you please roll to hit? It is again d20 plus 6. We'll say you're looking to beat a 15.
That's an 18.
Okay, fantastic. So, cannon is aimed. Daisy fires. The cannon goes and immediately launches Notad out towards the enemy vessel. Notad, if you can make me an acrobatics saving throw, please.
Oh no.
This is just to determine how much you do not break your neck.
Throw, okay. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Yep. Acrobatics saving throw.
Yep.
No, dex saving.
Acrobatics.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Yep. How'd that go?
That was a nat 1.
Okay.
You
So,
die.
Okay, I got a dirty 20 as my second roll with my inspiration.
okay, that's fine then. So you managed to awkwardly catch yourself in the enemy ship's sail and just sort of roll your way down, catch some rigging. So you're now currently holding in the rigging about halfway up the mast. So you're about maybe 10 foot off the floor at this point on the enemy vessel. Kallus, anything else from yourself?
Nope.
Okay. Mick, you're up. And Mike, you're on deck.
I will aim the cannon that I am still on towards their cannons again.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. So again, that is now aimed. Are you aiming it like for like across the way at the opposing cannon?
Yeah, might as well.
Absolutely fine. Fantastic. Okay. Anything else from yourself?
Nope.
Cool. Okay. Next up then is the Admiral, who is going to first of all start steering after seeing Notad fly across to the opposing vessel. Damn! That was brave! Might have trouble getting back, and he spins the wheel and starts steering the ship slightly closer to the ghost ship. The ships are now about 50 feet apart, and he is going to order all of the cannons to fire. So, Kallus, your cannon has already fired. Mick,
Sorry, he's like, I'm so worried about this person. Fire!
yep.
Yep.
Fire at where he landed.
Mick, can you roll to hit the opposing cannon, please? So that's a d20 plus 6, and you are looking to beat a 19.
It is a 22.
That hits.
Nice.
Roll me some damage, please. 8d10.
D10. It's 45 again.
Okay, so another huge explosion just completely clears the crew away from the cannon. So the skeleton that was already there reloading is just immediately taken out, along with the two that were running up behind them to help out. The cannon itself is still intact, but it is sort of leaning a little bit on the wonk. You can see you've taken out part of the standing that it was on. It's now just tilted over to the side, so they're going to have a little bit of a harder time re-aiming that one at you. The other two cannons on the ship are going to fire at the enemy hull. Both of which hits. And both of which managed to blast some more chunks out of the woodwork on there. So,
Giant flying magical ship.
yep. So managed to blast out a decent set of panel work on the enemy vessel. Okay, next up we have got the skeleton captain who has just noticed Notad landing on their vessel. They're not best pleased about this.
No welcome wagon for
It's here for the bitches.
And
Bring
they
me
all-
all women.
Skeletons are fine off.
and they all out of bitches.
Okay. What have we got?
So he turns around and goes, I've heard my women with a bit of meat on the bones.
It has been lockdown after all.
So, with one
At this
hand,
point.
one hand on the wheel, they pull their greatsword up and point it directly towards Notad. And as they do, you can see this sort of strip of metal peels off the spine of the blade and just flies out towards you and forms this jagged crown around your head. And you hear a voice in your mind saying, "Join the crew." And I'm going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please. You're looking to beat a DC of 14.
Note had such a fucking martyr. Getting a crown of thorns already.
He's going full, like, was it Pirates of the Caribbean,
I'm
Blackbeard,
too
zombie
scared to roll this dice because 14 is high for me. Not 20, bitches!
Hey!
Fantastic.
Hey!
You hear the voice in your mind and you feel the spikes of this crown starting to dig into your skull. And at the same time, you hear a familiar voice in the back of your mind going, I'm sorry, but you work for me. And you feel your hand, again, beyond your control, just reaches up, grabs the crown, and you can feel the spikes biting into your hand, and you just rip it free and throw it to the ground.
It was nice being a king for a moment.
What are you on about? You
Oh, when
say,
you're only
yes,
king for a day.
yes, I like the pain, skeleton daddy.
Uh,
Oh my god.
that is...
There are
Oh
two-
my
there are-
god.
You
There
got
are-
my inspiration, shut me.
There are 206 bones in the body. Do you want one more?
No. Oh no.
I need to
Have you
get
got
some power
inspiration
lines
this
going.
session?
I was going to say, Michael, do you have inspiration already?
No.
Then it's going to stay that way. Next up is your turn.
He has definitely been plugging hard for it. And
I was about to say, shouldn't we all be
Says no,
taking
Dad.
like psychic damage right now?
At a
Psychic
certain
damage,
point, this
yeah.
may happen.
Let's
So,
just
Mike,
say that-
you're up. Notad, you're on deck.
Okay, would you say we're about 50 feet now?
Yeah, the ships have drifted closer. They're about 50 feet apart now.
Okay, is there a group of like skeletons around Notad now? Would you say they're circling around?
So Notad will have they'll still be sort of partway up the rigging at this
Okay.
point, holding on, having just thrown the metal crown to the floor. They are.
Okay, got you.
If you are considering it anything, I would say that they are safely above a minimum safe distance for something
Okay.
dynamic to happen.
Ah, you read my mind. Okay, so
It's like we've been doing this for a
More-
year now.
grey and dark clouds start swarming the sky. And you hear the faint, you can feel that crackle, you can feel that buzz of thunder and lightning imminent. You can almost smell it in the air. And
Yep.
I hold my fingers out to a location and I snap my fingers nice and loud, and a point where the cannons and the skeletons meet is shatter. I cast shatter, and this painfully loud ringing noise erupts from that point in a 10-foot radius sphere.
Okay, so
on
at the
remaining
moment,
cannons.
yeah, so you got two remaining cannons, one of which is still crude and damaged, one of which is tilted over on its arse. So it's every creature in a 10-foot radius, do you say?
And objects.
Okay, so they have to make a Constitution saving throw. Okay.
They do, and if they are made of inorganic material, they have disadvantage on the saving throw.
They are skeletons, so it's technically organic material. What is the DC they're looking to beat there?
14.
14. It's three of them. One succeeds, two fail. Both cannons automatically fail because they are cannons.
Nice.
Okay. So that's 17.
17. So 17 halved on one of the skeletons, so that would be 8 damage to one of the skellies. The other two skeletons are immediately just blown apart into a shower of bones, and both of the cannons take 17 points. The cannon that's already damaged is just rent apart into nothing.
Rent apart, much like the same as the skeletons.
Yeah, you can see it's just literally blasted off of its
Yeah.
standing and just shatters into metal shards on the floor. The remaining cannon, you can see it gets knocked, but it doesn't fall apart in the same way as its partner. Okay. Anything else from yourself?
A good derisive laugh.
Okay. That laugh might be short-lived. Can I get everyone
Oh,
Oh
fuck.
no.
to make me, please?
An investigation check? That's my highest stat.
No, surprisingly not. Can I get everyone to make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Why'd you make it fucking dexterity?
Um,
Oh, we take it!
Oh, I'm on fire.
Uh,
21 for me, Tom.
Ah, shit.
Say again, sorry?
21 for me.
21. So 2 seconds. Let me just jot these down. So,
I'll wait for you to get your pen
Okay.
and paper. 'cause-
yeah, we'll just run through the order here. So Kallus,
N.
10.
I honestly thought you said N.
I
Mick,
heard
What number
N
did
as
you
well.
get? I got the letter N.
N.
It's
Mick.
that shit, it's not even a number.
Mick, what did you get?
16.
16. Mike, you're
18.
18. Notad
21.
and Daisy.
I got the Batman signal.
Excellent.
14.
14. So, Kallus, Mick, and Daisy. You feel a sudden
You
sort of
dead.
tingling on the back of your neck, and
Ooh.
from a sudden and mysteriously gathering storm cloud above you, a series of
Ah,
lightning
shit.
bolts drop down.
I have nothing for this.
You each take 9 points of lightning damage as it strikes
Okay.
the ship just next to your feet.
I missed who didn't get it. Sorry. Who
So,
didn't get hit?
Kallus, Mick, and Daisy
Oh,
each
okay.
takes 9 points of lightning damage.
Okay, thank you.
I feel like I'm somewhat responsible for this.
I can't help but think you're
I
entirely
blame you as
responsible
well.
for
To a
I've just
degree.
killed them.
Well, there goes my temporary HP.
Okay. So the skeleton crew, again, 3 of them have emerged from below decks and started running towards and preparing the one remaining cannon. You can see another couple are desperately trying to repair the remaining 2 cannons. Notad, you're up. Daisy, you're on deck.
Okay, so have I made it down to the ship's deck?
I would say that,
Oh,
yeah,
Down the deck?
given the time that's elapsed, you could quite comfortably make it down from the rigging
Yep, you're on the poop deck.
on there. I'd say I count that as a free
Okay.
action because it's basically controlled falling.
I would like to cast Create Bonfire.
Okay,
Mm.
so we're trying to set fire to the ship, are we?
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
I mean, there's no
Nice.
essentially about it, yes.
So are you trying to hit the skeletons in particular, or are you
Yes,
just trying to hit the
definitely.
ship?
Nope, the ship.
Okay. So, as the ship is a ship, it cannot make the necessary dexterity saving throw to avoid you setting a bonfire on the deck. So that automatically fails. Can you roll me up some, I'm assuming, fire damage?
Yeah.
Who knew it'd be so easy to start a bonfire on a giant ship?
Be-do-be-do. That would be you. That would be a 6.
Okay. So yeah, you've started the bonfire and you can see it starting to char the wood a little bit. Not really causing any sort of significant problem at the moment, but yeah, left
Okay, it will
unchecked.
take hold.
Yep. Okay.
How
So-
far away is our ship from this one now?
At this point, you're about 50 feet away.
Notad starts dancing around the
Okay.
fire like a crazy madman.
All right. So, can I, as a bonus action,
Yep.
can I tie my crowbar to my rope?
Maybe a dex sleight of hand check. I'll allow it. We'll just see, like, if you dex sleight of hand beat a 10. It's not difficult, but you are
19.
absolutely fine. So you have tied a rope to a crowbar.
Can I yeet it in the same go, or is that would be too
No, I
much?
would say given what you've done so far, that would be your sort of action limit for the round.
Fab,
Why can I
thank you.
see Notad launching herself onto the ship and then the music just start playing? I'm a fire starter.
Fantastic. So, Daisy, you're up. Kallus, you're on deck.
How close are we to like ship to ship now?
50
Ship to
feet.
ship, about 50 feet.
Still 50 feet.
Yeah.
So it seems unlikely that I'm going to be able to jump that.
I would imagine
go.
it would be difficult.
I couldn't misty step it, so I think it's
We
unlikely.
could now.
No, misty step's 30 feet.
Oh, that's a lot less than I thought.
Yeah.
Uh,
Otherwise, I wouldn't have tied a crowbar to a bit of rope.
fair enough. Can I see anybody? I mean, obviously there's like skeletons and shit on the deck, but can I see anyone who, I don't know, looks like they're the center of activity? maybe like stood at the wheel or something
I
like
mean, probably the captain, which we have highlighted several times
that.
already.
Yes, but can I see him? Or is
Yes,
that...
yeah.
Right.
It's the helm is completely exposed at the top
Right.
top
So,
of the back of the ship.
okay. I'm gonna throw a chromatic orb at him then.
Okay.
Well,
Yep.
I'm gonna try is probably the more accurate.
Yep. That's absolutely
statement.
fine. What form is the chromatic orb taking?
I'm gonna copy. I think it was Honky and go for acid damage.
Absolutely fine. Go for it. Roll to hit, please. It's a ranged
16.
spell attack. Unfortunately, with the fight going on around you, it misses. So this acidic orb just goes
On
straight
that
past.
basis, hang on. Yeah, I'm going to utilize saving face and
Yep.
try again.
Go for it.
I can only do one of these, by the way.
Yep.
But screw it. Oh, fuck off. Ignore me, Tom. I didn't really use that.
I'll allow it.
Oh, I mean, like I rolled a 13.
Yep. I'll allow it to say that you didn't use that.
I didn't. It wasn't honest, but I obviously can't use it again.
But now you lose face. Nobody's for you.
Yeah. I'll move to try and get.
Wait, sorry. What did you roll on your original
16.
16? Actually, yeah. So you've got Mike, your Kallus, Mick, and the. Actually, no, that hits with saving face. Because you've got allies. You gain a bonus equal to the number of allies that can see you, which is the entire crew of your ship.
Oh, right.
So you get the full +5 on that, so that hits.
Part of the crew, part of the ship.
So,
Nice. So eat shit.
Yep, that hits. Roll some damage, please.
Is now a bad time to say that I rolled this at second spell slot or not?
It still hits.
Okay. Oh dear, that's a lot of ones. 13 damage.
13.
Oh, and that's a bad one.
Absolutely fine. So yeah, so the acidic orb, the first you throw a sort of test shot and it misses. You check around and you can see a couple of the crew kind of snigger. You flip them off and you sling another one, and it just bullseyes the skeleton captain straight in the face, melting off the remainder of their helmet, and you can just see this flaming green skull underneath, snarling over at you as it looks back over its sword that's just cast the crown at Notad.
I like it. That's a nice touch.
Anything else from yourself?
No, I've used both of my second level spell slots now, so
That's absolutely fine. Kallus, then you're up. Mick, you're on deck.
Okay. I'm gonna try and be helpful. You said the ships are about 50 feet apart now.
Yes. Yep.
Where is Notad in relation to me? I.e., is he within 60 feet of me?
The ships are 50 feet apart. I would say just about. Yeah. No, actually, yes. Yeah. Notad would be within 60 feet of you.
Okay. I am gonna cast Levitate on him.
Okay.
In the hopes that it will allow him to either create some shenanigans or to boost himself back here. Apparently, you can kick off objects and float in a direction. You can move up or down with your movement. Otherwise, it's pretty much just like moving.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So
don't fully understand how it's worked. I've never used it before, but
so
I can move him
how
up or down 20 feet. But...
Yeah. So as soon as you cast it, Notad, you feel the sudden weightless sensation, and you're immediately lifted 20 feet straight up towards the top of the mast.
Yeah.
Away from your newly created bonfire. Notad, you can only move by pushing or pulling against a fixed object or surface, such as the mast, which you are next to. And Kallus, you can change Notad's altitude by up to 20 feet in either direction on your turn.
Yes. And on subsequent turns, I can move.
You
him,
can
but
also
not on
use
this
your
one, I don't
action
think.
to move the target.
Yes.
So, Notad, at the moment, you can only move up and down. You can move away from something if you can kick off of it, but you can't move horizontally by yourself without having something to act against.
I was
Kallus,
hoping to keep him fairly close to the mast,
Yep.
so if he wants, he could kick off the mast, if that's possible.
Kallus, you can control the horizontal movements
Oh, okay, fine.
wherever you want. Okay.
Um,
Anything else
yeah,
from
I'll
yourself?
leave it at that then. Nope.
Okay.
I'm just going to concentrate on that.
No worries. As you're doing that, another one of the dwarf crewmen has run up to take your position on the cannon. Mick, you're up. Mike, you're on deck.
I am so good, with all this magic and shit. So I thought I'd aim the cannon at the other cannon. that's
Okay,
left.
yeah. So you're now aiming at the one remaining cannon. That's absolutely fine. Anything else from yourself?
Nope.
Good, because the Admiral is about to steer the ship another 25 feet closer to the enemy vessel and ask all of the cannons to fire again. So we will start with Mick's cannon. If you're aiming at the opposing cannon, can you roll me to hit, please? That is 1d20 plus 6. You are looking to beat a 19 to hit the cannon.
Well, I got. It's plus 6, isn't it?
Yes,
I got 19.
19. Just hits.
Yeah.
Roll some damage, please. That's 8d10.
Thank God for the good.
So you
rolls.
take aim.
Right.
You're slightly distracted by the fact that Notad has just like yeeted themselves up into the air, as far as you can tell. So it's not quite the dead-eye shot that you were aiming for beforehand.
That's 55 damage.
You just
Nice.
obliterate the remaining
Wow.
cannon. The cannon, the skeleton crew manning it.
Nice.
The enemy ship is now completely unarmed.
I just want to see if D&D actually likes me better these days.
That's fine.
Just to
The
see.
remaining
Still
cannons,
hates me. Not using it for that.
the remaining cannons on your ship are going to take fire at the enemy. Okay. One of them just hits the boarding and basically just bounces clean off. The cannonball appeared to be a dud. That may well be the one that you abandoned, Kallus. The other two, however, do manage to hit and blast another couple of chunks out of the enemy vessel. With that, it is the skeleton captain's turn. They are none too pleased at Notad starting a fire on their vessel.
But we didn't start.
I didn't
the fire.
start the fire.
You did not start the
Yeah,
fire.
it was always burning since the wall's been turning.
Since the wheels been turning.
They stab their greatsword into the deck and pull out a very menacing-looking longbow and take aim at Notad.
Scream
that's
aim
going
fire,
to-
no turn. Scream aim fire.
What is your AC, please, Notad?
That would be 14.
Yeah, so Kallus manages to catch wind of this and just sort of whoop, dips you underneath the arrow, which just goes bonk into the mast and misses you completely. They do manage to
My travel sickness is going to be kicking in.
They are now steering the ship closer to yours, so we're now looking at being about 25 feet apart between the two vessels. Okay, with that, Mike, you are up, and Notad, you're on deck.
Alrighty then. I start cooling myself down
Mhm.
real fast. And you see like the steam that you get when you're so cold.
Yep.
And then I start throwing my hands at the captain, the skeleton captain,
Okay.
and snowballs start hitting him because I'm casting Mike's Frozen Flurry.
Okay, fantastic. What does the captain need to do in response to that?
Dex saving throw of 14. Bitch.
They succeed.
Ah.
I've been watching too much Breaking Bad again. Just the Jesse.
Alright, so they take 6 damage.
Okay.
Bitch.
Gatorade me, bitch.
Bitch.
Yeah, so they managed to just about get out of the way in time, but you still see a couple of the snowballs just hit on the armor and start to sort of spread out this very obvious frozen pattern on the armor as it starts to take on a much more brittle appearance, and you can see bits of it starting to sort of just crack and fall away on there. Anything else from yourself?
No, I think that's it for me.
Fantastic. And the air once again becomes particularly charged. And I'm going to need everyone apart from Notad, who is currently airborne, to make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Another one?
Yep.
Oh, come on.
You think I'd be fucking good at these with my dexterity, but no.
Oh, come
I will say, Kallus,
Let me
Mick,
guess. You rolled
Oh,
a
Kallus,
14.
Mick, and Daisy, you will have advantage on this, having been hit by this before.
Thank fuck.
oh, thank God.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, thank God for that one.
So, Kallus?
That one.
19. Sorry, I
dear.
couldn't find my dexterity.
No worries. Mick?
24.
Fantastic. Mike?
Just the 4.
Just the 4. And Daisy?
7.
7. Okay. So, I'm going to need Mike, Daisy, and Kallus. You each take 11 points of lightning damage as another bolt just cracks down and strikes the deck next to you.
I need to make a concentration check down now then.
You do, yes. Yep.
which
Otherwise,
is
you're going
a-
to drop Notad.
Oh no, I failed. I didn't hear
Which
you roll
is-
anything. Oh no, I failed.
There's a Constitution check against
It's
your
cons-
spell save DC.
Oh, then 13.
And your
Yeah.
spell save, your spell DC is.
My spell save DC is 15.
Okay, so you fail.
Oh.
Okay.
I think.
I
Only.
I can't remember the concentration.
Hold on. No one remembers concentration. It's like
Oh my God.
grappling.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Am I gonna get these?
No, you drift. If it drops, you just drift down.
I was gonna say feather
When
token.
the spell
so-
ends, the target floats gently to the ground.
So,
20 foot is a lot for a gnome.
It's something to do with the
Well,
damage.
I was gonna use my
11,
feather token.
it's
so-
5. Yeah, it's 10 or half the damage. So, yes, no, that's fine. You pass. Notad remains floaty.
Excellent.
So, yeah, for future reference, if you take damage while concentrating on a spell, you make a Constitution saving throw. The difficulty of the saving throw is equal to 10 or half the damage you take, whichever number is higher. If you take damage from multiple sources, you make separate saving throws for each source of damage.
Okay.
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 Cool.
Okay, so Notad, yeah, you kind of feel
I am
the like a bit of a dip as Kallus's concentration wavers briefly, but you remain airborne. It's at that point that Notad, you're the first to notice this. The sky above both ships has become thick with this dark cloud. And you can see emerging from it now are these long, leathery tentacles coming down. One
Seen
of
enough hentai to know where this goes.
One of the dwarf crewmen points up and goes, "Oh no! Ether Kraken!" And with that, Notad, you're up.
You're drinking out of a
Wonderful.
vase.
No,
Yeah.
it's my giant earthenware.
That is a brilliant.
So
Sorry.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to Misty Step from my current airborne location back onto the deck of our ship.
Yep, it's absolutely fine. That goes off without a hitch.
And then immediately turn around and cast Firebolt. at the ship again. I think I'm just gonna create more fire. I'm just
Yep.
hoping that this really goes up in flame.
Fire.
Okay, no worries. Are you aiming just at the ship, or are you trying to like enhance your bonfire?
Good question. Let's go with enhance.
Okay, no worries. So if you can aim to hit that, please. You're looking to be at 15. I'll say with advantage because the bonfire makes it easier targeting.
Yep, 16 on my first roll.
Absolutely fine. That
I'll
hits.
try
So
again
the
specifically
damage
better. I got
from
19 on my
no, that's absolutely fine. So the damage from the firebolt first of all, please.
D10 is this one? No, that's D12.
I mean, if you're trying to rely on us looking at
Got
your
it.
dice for help,
Yep.
you've turned off your camera, so we can't.
That, I've got it. I know. I know. It's because my internet was crapping out.
No worries.
Right. Oh, hang on. 9.
9. Okay. And then if you can roll me, what was create bonfire? What does that do? As you're enhancing your bonfire, can you also roll me 2d8, please, for bonfire damage?
Can I? Uh, 16.
Fantastic. So yeah, the bonfire now blazes up, and there is a significant amount of on fieriness going on the enemy vessel. Anything else from yourself?
No.
No worries. Okay. So Daisy, you're up. Kallus, you're on deck.
How when you say it's a lot more on fire, how does it look like it's in danger of like breaking the ship?
At this point, the bonfire itself doesn't appear to be representing a significant immediate threat, but it is definitely growing. That is certainly something that's going to be a problem if it's left unchecked. What's probably more concerning is the half dozen tentacles that are now emerging from this cloud above you. Each one is thicker than the mast of your respective ships and ends in a sort of like three-pointed, almost like padded claw kind of arrangement.
Okay. Do I know anything about Kraken? Like, are they controlled by a flaming skull? for
Roll
instance, or
me
an agent?
Let's just call this a nature check.
Nature check. Okay.
Yeah, we'll say this is a free action because you're just sort of thinking on the fly.
22.
22. Okay. Ether Krakens, you know, are semi-mythical creatures. There's never really been any significant reports of them other than like survivor stories from travelers going through the Mournland. They appear to be some sort of aberrant creation of the magical fallout there. They cannot be tamed. They cannot be controlled. And they tend to be drawn to sources of magic.
I would like to. Are we higher? I get the impression are we higher up than the other ship?
You're
Closer
about
to the
level with
Kraken?
the. I was going to say you're about level with the other ship. Below you, you've got the mists of the Mournland, and above you, you've got the storm that the Kraken is emerging from.
Okay. If I shouted to the captain to move us a little further down and away, and is the bonfire in the middle of the ship, like where the
Yeah,
sails
it's just
or
at the base of the
the
mast.
tree?
So where Note had originally landed on the rigging to the mast, they've managed to drop themselves down, start the bonfire, and then get yeeted magically back across between
Great.
themselves
So
and Kallus.
I'd like to. What? thought so. I'll have to use a chromatic orb again, but I was
Yep.
hoping to aim it at the mast of the ship with the aim of trying to knock it over. So I'm trying to, now that they can't fire back, I'm trying to prevent them from moving.
Okay, so you're just trying to disable the mast.
I'm trying to disable the mast so that we can move, and hopefully the Kraken would leave us alone and go for. Because I originally thought that the captain was controlling the Kraken. But
Okay.
if he's not, I'm just going to try and
No
blast
worries.
their ship.
So if you're trying to aim for the mast, I would say that's going to be you're looking to be a 12 on that.
Okay. I'll have a go. Is the fire not already around the mast?
There is fire at the base of the mast. It's not on the mast itself. It's on the deck.
Right. Okay. Grand. Yeah, I'll try and hit that then. 17.
Okay. Yep. That hits. So sorry, just to clarify, are you hitting the mast or the bonfire?
I was going for the mast at this point.
Absolutely
although
fine.
I'm
So yep,
wondering whether
that definitely hits. What form is your chromatic orb taking?
I'm going to go with fire. I'm going to try and set it on fire and add a bit more.
Absolutely
to
fine.
it.
No worries. Yep. Roll me some damage, please.
13.
13. Fantastic. So you sling out the chromatic orb, and this burning ball just sort of fires across and it catches the mast. It scorches it, and as it does, the energy travelling past enrages the bonfire. Noted, can you roll me 3d8, please?
Nice.
There is nothing that would make me more happy to do that for you than Tom.
What the fuck?
As a
4,
bonus,
7, and 7.
4, 7, and 7.
so
Fantastic.
18, is that?
Also known as
Oh.
18.
Also
Yeah.
known in some circles as 18.
As a bonus action, I'd
Yep.
shout to the captain to move us away from the Kraken and try and put the ship between us, something like that. Put their ship between us and the Kraken.
Okay, yep.
Whether he does it or not is up to him, obviously. But
That's fine. The captain looks down and just goes, "All right, as long as there's nothing inherently massively magical on the ship that the Kraken could be drawn to."
it would still have to go through them.
I'd say that's as much as conversation-wise you can get out of them in a single round. So,
Okay.
back to the top of the round then. Kallus, you're up. Mick, you're on deck.
Okay. Noted's back on our ship now, right?
Yep, everyone is back on board
Yep.
the Mist Cutter.
I will drop levitate on him then.
Yep.
And let him just gently fall. They have 3 sails, is it?
They've basically got like one main sail and then a slightly smaller foresail.
Okay. I'm gonna fire all 3 scorching rays at the mainsail to see if I can set the mainsail on fire.
Yep,
So that
absolutely
they-
fine. Yep. So that's what is it? 3 ranged spell attacks.
Yeah.
Yep. So all 3 are looking to be an armor class of 12.
So that's a 15,
Yep.
a 12,
Yep. Just
and a 24.
okay. Yep. The 24, is that a dirty 24 or no? Not 24.
A dirty.
Dirty 24. Okay. So yep, all 3 hit. Roll me up some damage, please.
Okay.
So as you raise your hand and aim
So-
towards the sails, all 3 scorching rays just like shoot
That's
out.
10 on the first one.
Yep.
4 on the second one.
Yep.
And 5 on the final one, so 19.
Fantastic. At that, you can see that the sail is immediately consumed in fire, and it just starts to it faster than you expected. It just completely burns up, and you can see that the enemy ship is starting to sort of drift back a little bit, as if it's losing speed against you as you're flying through the skies.
Good. That is what I was hoping for.
Anything else from yourself?
Nope.
Okay, no worries. Mick, you're up.
Well, hearing what the Admiral just yelled to us.
Yep.
Begrudgingly,
Oh God.
I am going to load the Dragon Shard into the cannon.
Okay,
Oh, good lord.
that's
Tactical
absolutely
nuke.
that is absolutely fine.
Oh my god. What is about to happen?
Only what I can
Perfect.
only hope is utter chaos.
Come quickly googling the
Mm.
blast radius of a tactical nuke.
dndbeyond.com/characters create new.
Okay, so yes, you've loaded
Oh
the
my
dragon shard
God.
into your cannon that you're operating. Bear in mind, you are no longer in control of how the cannon is aimed or when it is
No,
fired.
that's fine.
Okay. Anything else on your turn?
Yeah, I don't
You
think I
can
do.
speak and make suggestions towards where to aim it if you wish.
Well, we can either shoot it at the enemy ship, and hopefully the Kraken likes the giant magical energy and goes there, or we fire it at the giant Kraken in the sky.
Okay. You could aim it at the ship. The Kraken has not sort of come down far enough for you to get like an
Yeah.
angle on it with the cannon.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if the big giant magical energy, which the Admiral says it's attracted to, is not on our ship and on theirs, or it blows their ship up, I don't care.
Okay.
This is going to be amazing.
Well, we're about to find out what happens. As the Admiral has just ordered another broadside to be fired at the opposing ship.
Oh my god.
So
For
I'm going to go
fuck's
ahead.
sake.
We'll hang off on Mick's special gift for now. So the
Oh my god.
3 cannons that are not currently loaded with the magical tactical nuke.
What class
Um,
do I want to play next?
Not be a cleric. Hey,
Yeah, I might play paladin.
Might go
Ooh.
for a monk.
I've got my next character.
So
lined up.
3 cannons.
I might go for a kleptomanic idiot that puts dragon shards in things.
For the FBI that are
Nick's still
listening, in,
alive,
it's got an
Okay.
actual tactical nuke.
Okay, so of the 3 cannons that fire, only one of them manages to successfully land a hit against the enemy ship. The other 2 cannons just kind of, again, you see the cannonballs fire across and explode, but they don't really appear to do any significant damage to the enemy vessel. But the third one does open up a significantly large hole in the side of the hull. Hint, hint. You know what? I'm just going to let you do the whole thing. Mick, roll to hit with the cannon.
Oh, natural one. It just blows up in the battle and kills us all.
Oh, shit.
team. Guess who should have wished I
So
put
it's-
it in my chest cavity?
1d20 plus 6, please, dude.
So that's 16, so that's 22.
22
good.
hits.
It's good.
Can you roll me some damage, please?
Yes.
I need you to
Okay.
roll
Yeah.
16d10.
Okay.
What the hell?
Well, it's a nuke. That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of
We are
damage.
very close to this ship.
Yeah.
We sure are.
Right.
I love that it can't calculate it on my screen. It's taking ages to come through.
I've got to give it a minute because I can't actually see past all the dice. 104.
Okay. So,
Jesus.
the cannon fires, and there is this insane red blast from the mouth. And you see the dragon shard, like a torpedo, just straight line across in through the hole in the hull. And there is this enormous red eruption on there. The green glow that suffused the entire of the enemy vessel is replaced very quickly from the inside out with this red glow of energy. The tentacles that had started to emerge down from the clouds above you suddenly shift and change direction and immediately start moving towards the enemy ship. As they do, the captain, the admiral, has started to move your vessel away. And as the tentacles close in around the enemy vessel, you can just hear the skeletal captain, their frame still glowing green amongst this red hue on the enemy ship, just pointing their great sword over towards you and goes, I will have my revenge. Count on it. At which point
Pleasure.
the tentacles
It seems
grab the ship
unlikely.
and lift it up into the clouds. And you can hear the crunching and snapping of wood and bone, and what you assume would be the sound of skeletons screaming if they could scream.
Creaking.
But as soon as the bottom of the hull of the ship disappears up into the storm clouds above, the storm cloud itself just appears to dissipate, and you were just left floating above the mists of the Mournland. The mist cutter looking none too bad for what's happened, and the admiral is stamping their way down the deck towards you, Mick. Looks you square in the eyes and goes, what exactly did you bring on board my vessel?
A big shiny red thing.
Did you not think it might have been pertinent to inform me that you were carrying dangerous magical artifacts on this particularly perilous voyage?
Can I just ask, did you at any point ask us if we were?
No, I simply assumed that it would be sensible not to carry
Well.
what looked like a fairly large and substantial dragon shard on board a vessel travelling through a magically enchanted fog with creatures drawn to points of magical energy.
Well, you know what happens when you
We
assume.
weren't to know that, and why would we tell people that we don't know who might want
So
to
what
steal it from
about the
us?
reactor in the back of the ship? You're using
The reactor.
one and only. You're using the one and only ether sail. Are
Yes.
you not? Surely that's enough magic.
No, the
bring
ether
one of
sail
these
draws
evil
its energy
beasties.
directly from the fog. To
Does that not
anything,
inherently make it
any
magical?
magical creature
item?
sees it as being no different. It's how we're able to fly, usually, unobstructed through the Mournland. But I believe that you folks will have plenty of time to consider your actions whilst you spend the rest of the voyage with your dwarven companion in the brig. Guards! Snaps his fingers, and each one of you is
Whoa!
grabbed by a dwarf crewman who leads you off towards the brig.
Nice to see you got an
Okay.
answer for
I'm sorry.
everything.
So we have literally won this fight for them, and we're being punished for it.
In our defense, it's not on the ship anymore.
In our defense, a brig's just a lock in a cage, and I'm a thief. Well, assassin.
And that is the story of how you saved a ship from a ghost ship and a kraken and were immediately arrested for bringing WMDs on board. So, with
God
that,
damn it, Mick.
that
Hey,
brings us.
What I'm saying is, he's got to sleep at some time. I'm blatantly going to break out and steal his glittery beard.
So that brings us to the end of tonight's adventure. My thanks once again to our players and to everyone watching along live on Twitch or catching up with us on the VOD when it eventually goes up on YouTube. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time on the 20th of June to do this all over again. Until then, stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, and we'll see you next time. Good night.
Night. Levi is
Bye,
watching
Black
you.
Vulcan.
Levi is watching.
Always.
Always watching.
Always watching.
At any point, you can stop speaking and we can just cut the audio.